Welcome back to Schaefer Park. Lucas Kinsey with you here today on day 2 of the WT Invitational, the Thunder Vision production team. Your director for today's games, Jacob Johnson. We're glad to have you with us as we get set for the second game, which will feature UT Permian Basin. The Falcons, who just are coming off of another win, 6 straight wins to be exact, but they pick up the win earlier today, defeating Fort Lewis by the score of 6-4, so now they get their chance at another RMAC opponent. This time it's Adams State. The Falcons' overall record, 8 wins, 6 losses. Adams State, 2 wins and 4 losses. Let's look at the starting lineup first for UT Permian Basin, which will bat first, be the visitors on the scoreboard. And the lineup looks like this. Leading off center field, Valerie Gonzalez, batting second. Emily Andrus, number 19, Araceli Ariza, who had a great game for the Falcons in the first one. Mia Quintero will bat fourth. She'll be the designated player, batting fifth. Julia Bumford. Sixth will be Lonnie Graft, batting seventh. Ashlyn Bradley. Eighth, Cynthia Ing. And batting ninth will be Ariel Aguiar. Pitching for Adams State, we will see Taylor Duncan, number 41. Duncan, a 5'7" sophomore from Bakersfield, California. And that pitch misses on the outside. So the first 2 pitches, balls, count to 2-0 against Valerie Gonzalez. Gonzalez, a good performance in the first win for the Falcons. Again, UTPB 3-0 this weekend. They've defeated Adams State already. They defeated the Grizzlies yesterday 12-8. So second time the 2 teams have played in 2 days. UTPB knocked off Northern State 13-9. And then again 6-4 against Fort Lewis today. That pitch fouled back. Evening the count at 2-2. Grizzlies infield playing up. Gonzalez, a fast player. Pitches outside. Just missed. So it runs full, 3-2. Behind the plate for Adams State is the catcher Alexandra Cantu. Over at first base, Breck Smith. Playing second, Sydney Muniz. That pitch is outside for ball 4. So Gonzalez will head down to first base. Leadoff walk to start things for the Falcons. Defensively, Adams State finishing out the defensive lineup. Shortstop, number 5, Jade Garbizo. Third base will be Mariah Madrid. The outfield, from left to right, left field, Belinda Vargas. Center field will be Angeline Mitchell. And right field, Justine Lovato. First pitch missing there from Duncan. This one's in for a strike. Swing and a miss from Emily Andrus. So yesterday, UTPB and Adams, when they played, Falcons scored the first 2 runs of the game before Adams scored 3 runs in the top of the third. UTPB scored another run, take the lead 5-3. But in the end, Falcons too much for Adams State, scoring the 12 runs, winning by 4. That pitch called ball there, so the count goes to 2-1. In game number 2 yesterday, Adams State was blanked 8-0 against West Texas A&M. So the Grizzlies looking for a win. This is a slow liner that is hit to the shortstop, The throw was late. UTPB runners advance. The speed from Valerie Gonzalez. She moves over to third. Andrus, instead of just a single, she's over to second. Has some speed on the bases mixed with a slow defense to start the game for Adams State. and UTPB in business. So not a slow start for the Falcons, not at all. In their first game against Fort Lewis, they got behind 4-0 before coming back, storming back for 6 straight runs to finish the game. The first pitch is outside for ball 1. Still no outs for the Grizzlies. And up to bat for UT Permian Basin, number 19, batting third, Araceli Ariza, the shortstop. She moves from third to short in this game. And playing third base will be Lonnie Graft. Good crowd on hand here for just the second game today. Game 2 of 6. That's a good pitch in for a strike for Taylor Duncan. Infield plays up here. Pitch is called strike. Ariza thought it was high, stayed off of it. But it is a called strike, so the count runs full. Ariza, can she move the runners in from second and third? She's going to slap one to second base. The throw to first is in time. That will score a run. Gonzalez able to get in. RBI for Ariza. And the Falcons are on the board first, 1-0. Up to bat for UTPB, it is Mia Quintero, number 14. First pitch from Duncan just misses. You can hear that wind howling, picking up. Ball chopped softly to third base, fielded cleanly out at first, throw to home, not in time. Getting in for UTPB, another run. Emily Andres scores. Good base running to start this first inning for UT Permian Basin. Runners out at first, but right there, safe with a tag of home plate with the hand, swipe of the hand from the base runner. And the Falcons have a 2-0 lead. 2 outs. Pitch is outside. This is Julia Bumford, batting 5th here in game number 2 for the Falcons. This one chopped off the turf and going to get through for a base hit. So Bumford is on first. It's a solid hitter for the Falcons. She's cooled off in terms of home runs today, but still doing a good job of getting on the base for the Falcons offense. Yesterday, 4 home runs for Bumford. She's on first, 2 outs, and up to bat is Lonnie Graft, number 25, third baseman. Big rip, but that one's foul down the first base line. See what Graff does here with the count 0-1. Inside pitch misses. This one will get through. Good base hit out into right field. And it's a single for Graft. Bumford moves over to second. And the inning continues for UT Permian Basin. Good hitting. Already 3 hits. Also 2 runs for the Falcons. Ashlyn Bradley now in the box for UTPB. First pitch is low for ball 1. And that's fouled back to even the count at 1-1. Looking at UTPB from the earlier game, which was a 6-4 win over Fort Lewis. Three players each with 2 hits. Valerie Gonzalez, Ariza. Here's a throw down to third base. The runner is safe. So UT Permian Basin advances both Bumford and Graft. Even better scoring opportunity now. So back to the first game. Quintero was 2 for 4. Ariza was 2 for 4. And Gonzalez 2 for 4. Bradley, who's at the plate right now, was 1 for 3 hitting. She also had 2 RBI. The count is even here, 2-2. Taylor Duncan trying to get out of trouble. Ball hit right back to Duncan. Easy throw over to first, and the Grizzlies get out of the inning. But not before the Falcons are able to get 2 runs off of 3 hits. No errors committed by Adams State. And we head to the bottom of the first with the score UTPB leading 2-0. We're back after this timeout. You're watching the WT Invitational Day 2 from Schaefer Park. We're back after this.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Welcome back to Schaefer Park. Falcons are on the board already. 2 runs in the top of the first. We'll take a look now at the batting lineup for Adams State. The Grizzlies leading off will be the center fielder, number 42, Angeline Mitchell. Batting second, shortstop, number 5, Jade Garbiso. In the 3-hole, Belinda Vargas. She plays left field. Cleanup hitter, number 13, Breck Smith. First baseman, number 4, Sydney Muniz, will hit 5th, followed by Jordan Muniz, the designated player, wearing number 12. Followed by Mariah Madrid, third baseman, number 23, and then Alejandro Cantu, number 33, the catcher. Batting ninth, number 51, Justine Lovato, the right fielder. Pitching for UT Permian Basin in the circle, number 18, Becky Berth. Berth, a senior out of Oconto, Wisconsin, a transfer from Minnesota State Moorhead. It was a good pitching performance in the last game for UTPB, specifically by Cynthia Ng, as she picked up a win. We'll see what the Grizzlies can do offensively against Becky Berth. Who this season has a 4.13 ERA, 3 wins, 4 losses in 8 appearances. This is Becky's 7th start this season. Ball chopped easily to third base, and an out to start things for UTPB. Good defense by third baseman Lonnie Graft. And there's one away.
Up next for the Grizzlies, shortstop, number 5, Jade Garbizo.
So here's Jade Garbizo, number 5, the shortstop for Adams State, who leads the team, hitting .545 this season. 11 at bats, 8 runs, 6 hits, 3 RBI. That ball hit hard, but Graft is there again. So the third baseman with 2 great plays so far and 2 outs, 2 ground outs for the Grizzlies.
Up next, left fielder, number 31.
If you're the Falcons, that's exactly what you want to see. Head coach Tiela Tongoloa in 8th season as head coach of UT Permian Basin. This ball, an easy out. Soft fly to shortstop. And the Falcons are able to make the play. Araceli Ariza with the catch. You'll see it here on the replay. 1, 2, 3. Very quick work as Becky Berth does a job in the circle, and UTPB surrenders no hits, no runs, no errors in the first. We're back with the Falcons up to bat in the top of the second. You're watching the WT Invitational here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
This is what a new heart valve looks like. This is what a bypassed artery looks like. And this is what a repaired aortic aneurysm looks like. The BSA Heart and Vascular Team is here to help you live life to the fullest. From our state-of-the-art cardiac technologies to our dedicated heart specialists, our goal is to help you take the very best care of your heart so you can enjoy everything else that matters to you. BSA for life.
80 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
All right, the Falcons will lead off with Cynthia Ng. Was mentioning her, the pitching performance that she had in Game 1 today for UTPB. Picked up a win in a 6-4 ball game. Now batting, and she watches that pitch inside for strike 1, evens the count 1-1. 2 runs in the first inning for UTPB, and they left 2 runners on base, so it could have been even more damage. Here's a pitch from Taylor Duncan, and Ng is going to hit it softly out into center field, but a nice defensive play for the Grizzlies. Coming up to make that catch was Angeline Mitchell. Made it look easy. Just tracks the ball down, uses her speed for the first out of the inning. And that brings up the 9-hitter, the right fielder, Ariel Aguiar, who in the first game earlier today went 1 for 3. Had a double, 2 RBI double in what was a big 4th inning for UT Permian Basin. They scored 4 runs. She watches the first 2 pitches and is ahead in the count 2-0. Facing the pitcher for the Grizzlies, Taylor Duncan. Duncan tries to come back with a strike but misses low. So the count is 3-0. Well ahead is Aguiar. That one does fall in the strike zone. So now 3-1. Again, Adams State, 2 wins, 4 losses. Coming into this one, Falcons are hot, winning their last 6 straight, 8 wins, 6 losses. That one, Adams State fans seem to think it was a strike. Duncan tried to get the outside corner. Call from umpire behind the plate was ball. So Aguiar walks down to first base on ball there. And it brings up Valerie Gonzalez. 1 out here in the top of the 2nd inning. Pitch misses on the outside corner to the left-handed batter, Gonzalez, who has already scored a run, walked in the 1st inning, and then used her speed and good base running to get all the way around. Takes a swing at the 2nd pitch and misses. Count runs even at 1-1. Another good pitch from Adams State's Taylor Duncan. Paints that outside corner. She's ahead in the count, 1-2. Gonzalez chops this one foul. As you see, the Grizzlies defense, the infield playing up, knowing how fast Gonzalez is. 3rd baseman Mariah Madrid halfway down the 3rd base line. That pitch misses. The 1-2 pitch hit to Madrid. She'll scoop it up, throw it over to first base for the out. Gonzalez nearly made it, though. Again, she one of the fastest players on this Falcon team. She does move the runner to 2nd. So with 2 outs, we'll see Emily Andres step up here for the Falcons. Andres today, 1 at bat, 1 hit. Also scored a run in the 1st inning. Pitch from Duncan well outside. Andres waits on it, slaps it to shortstop, and is thrown out. Good play over there for Garbizo. Make the stop, make the throw in time, and Adams State gets out of the inning. UT Permian Basin. No runs, no hits, no errors committed by the Grizzlies, and we'll head to the bottom of the 2nd inning with the score 2-0. UT Permian Basin leads. We're back after this timeout.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
2-0 score for UT Permian Basin. They have the lead early. And it's the Grizzlies' turn now to try to get the bats going. They were not able to do much at all in the first inning against Becky Berth. Up to bat first baseman Breck Smith. And she watches first pitch called strike. So the count's 0-1. The pitch, a good one this time. It's high heat that Smith cannot catch up to, and so Berth ahead in the count quickly at 0-2. Senior pitcher for UT Permian Basin, talented player in the circle here. The ball fouled back. Nobody could get to that one. This is Breck Smith's first at-bat for the Grizzlies. The sophomore from Grand Junction, Colorado. Got a hold of that one, but fouls it back. Still behind in the count, though. No balls and 2 strikes. Breck Smith lays off of that pitch, which is on the inside corner, and was very close to being a 3rd strike. Smith, a .231 hitter coming into this one with 13 at-bats, 2 runs, 3 hits, and 3 RBI. Berth, fastball, and it's chopped foul. Again, Berth, number 18, a pitcher that has an ERA of 4.13. 3 complete games this season and now 33 innings of work. She's allowed 27 hits, only 15 earned runs. And there's a strikeout. Late call from the umpire, but it was a 3rd strike. Gets the batter looking as she strikes out Breck Smith.
At bat from Albuquerque, New Mexico, number 4, Sydney Munoz.
And that was the first strikeout for Berth. She will face Sydney Munoz now. And Munoz will watch that first pitch for a strike. Good work again so far defensively with both Becky Berth and then also the defense behind her. There's been a couple of ground outs to third base, Lonnie Graft. Munoz turns on the pitch and fouls it off. So Berth is ahead in the count again, 0-2. 1 out down here in the bottom of the 2nd inning with the Falcons leading 2-0. Pitch just barely fouled. So Munoz stays alive. Looking at Munoz's stats so far this season, a .286 hitter, 14 at-bats. She has 4 hits, 3 runs. Slugging percentage of .571, and again just fouls this one back, stays alive. Late slap at the ball. Game 2 of what will be 6 games coming your way today here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network. This one, Adams State and UT Permian Basin. The next one, Adams State will turn around and play again. They'll face the Lions of Texas A&M Commerce, who won both of their games yesterday. Here's the pitch from Berth. A little early on the swing from Muniz, turns it foul. Getting some good encouragement, Muniz is, from her teammates and also from some of the fans who've made the trip for Adams State from the state of Colorado. Alamosa. Off-speed pitch, fouled back again. I tell you what, Muniz is hanging in there. Trying to battle as best as she can against Becky Berth. This one popped up, should be an easy play. Berth will let Bumford come over and make the catch at the last second. Perhaps made the coaches a little nervous for UTPB, but no doubt about this one. So that's the second out of the inning. And it was Julia Bumford that made the catch for UT Permian Basin. Now up to bat for the Grizzlies, Jordan Muniz. Foul ball. Oh, 1 the count to number 12, Jordan Muniz. Outside corner just misses on the pitch from Berth. Of course, Adams State, a member of the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference, along with Fort Lewis. Good pitch that is blown past Muniz for strike 2. Berth able to get the batter to pop it up. And again, Bumford comes across, makes another nice catch from first base over in the pitcher's circle, and that is the third out of the inning. UT Permian Basin goes 3 up, 3 down. Defensively, they shut down the Grizzlies. No runs, no hits, no errors committed by the defense. We're back with the Falcons up to bat at the top of the third. 2-0 the score. You're watching the WT Invitational here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
It's got the looks, the style, the performance. Your new car is everything you always dreamed of, and now it's here. First Financial Bank was happy to help put you behind the wheel with a new car loan at a competitive rate and fast, friendly, local approval. It's service that just comes naturally to us, much like a love of tradition comes naturally to you. First Financial Bank, you first. Member FDIC.
Good defensive showing so far for UT Permian Basin. They have not allowed a single hit to Adams State. No runs, no errors committed by the Falcon defense. And we are in the top of the third inning. Falcons back up to bat. And it's number 19, shortstop, Araceli Ariza, who knocked in a run in the first inning, or first appearance. It was a ground out to second base, but did manage to score a run in. One of the 2 runs scored for the Falcons. 3 hits so far in the game for UT Permian Basin on 9 attempts. Hard hit to shortstop. Garbizo bobbles it, but stays with it and makes a strong throw to first base for the out. Exactly what you want your shortstop doing. Keep that ball in front of you. Quickly picks up the ball off the turf and makes the throw for out number 1. The number 4 hitter, Mia Quintero, now up for the Falcons. She also has an RBI. Grounded out to second baseman back in the first inning, but knocked in a run. Hits it hard, but right to Adams State, the second baseman, Muniz. And a good catch made by Sydney over at second base for the second out. 2 up, 2 down. Good work so far for Taylor Duncan, pitcher for Adams State, here in the top of the third. See if she can work against Julia Bumford, who snagged 2 fly balls. That ball hit back to the pitcher, deflected. Shortstop is going to make the throw. What a defensive play by Jade Garbizo to stay with that one. It was a hard hit off the pitcher. We'll see it again here.
3 up, 3 down. No hits, no runs.
And Garbizo, strong arm. The out at first base. 3 up, 3 down. Go the Falcons. So a quick top of the third. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Grizzlies up to bat in the bottom of the third. Score 2-0. Permian Basin with the lead. We're back right after this.
Joints begin to fail, it's more than an inconvenience. The relentless grinding pain slows you down and can even stop you from doing the things you enjoy in life. At Physicians Surgical Hospitals, our skilled orthopedic experts are using advanced robotic surgeries to get you back to being you sooner with a less painful recovery. We're doing more than restoring joints. We're restoring lives.
Good defense in back-to-back at-bats for both UT Permian Basin. Before that, the Grizzlies, 3 up, 3 down each side. And so we move to the bottom of the third, score 2-0, UTPB with the lead. They've been able to manage 3 hits, the Falcons have. They scored their 2 runs in the first inning. Really strong pitching performance from Becky Berth through 2 innings, 1 strikeout. She's faced 6 batters, pitch count only now 19. Really just been able to get the Adams State batters to pop up some easy outs into the field, ground out a couple of times to third base. And a strong command today from Becky Berth. She's facing Mariah Madrid here, third baseman for the Grizzlies. This one hit out into center field, and again, the speed, the defense from center field. Valerie Gonzalez having a great day so far for UTPB. We've seen her do this 2 or 3 times today.
Now at bat, your catcher, number 33, Alexandria Cantu.
Great defense behind Becky Berth, and she turns around and tells Gonzalez, that's what I'm talking about, good catch. Appreciates that support behind her. And that brings up for the Grizzlies the catcher, Cantu, Alejandra Cantu. First pitch from Berth is outside for ball 1. That just injects even more confidence into the pitcher when you got the defense making plays behind you like Gonzalez has made today. The pitch to Cantu, up inside. Ball 2. Grizzlies 0 for 7 at the plate today against Berth. That is a strike. Good pitch from Berth. Two-one pitch. Cantu thought about it but held off at the last second. And the count goes to 3-1. Hitters count here. See what Alejandra Cantu can do for Adams State. Late swing and she missed. Berth battles back and runs the count full. The payoff pitch, and it's smoked out into left field. Cantu, see you later. Home run. She got a hold of that one, gave it a ride, and the Grizzlies have their first hit. They also have their first run. Watch this. Didn't take long for that ball to get out of here. Alejandra Cantu. Some chance from the Grizzlies dugout
Now to bat for the Grizzlies. Your picture, number 41.
of that's our freshman. Proud of the youngster there after that hit to cut into this UT Permian Basin lead. 2-1 the score. And for Cantu, her first home run of the season. Also, her first hit. So how about that? It's a way to start off your career. That will bring up pitcher Taylor Duncan. Number 41 for the Grizzlies. New ball game now with the Grizzlies trailing just by 1 run. The pitch from Berth misses. And the count is 2-0. We'll see how she responds after giving up the home run to Cantu. This one, chop back to shortstop, easy play. The throw a little off the mark, but a good job of Bumford to snag that over at first base. On the out from Araceli Ariza.
Now at bat from Longmont, Colorado, number 42, Angeline Mitchell.
Two outs in the inning now for UT Permian Basin. And that brings up center fielder Angeline Mitchell. Fouls back the first pitch. The Falcons won their first game today, 6-4, defeating Armac opponent Fort Lewis, trying to get a second win today and stay perfect here at the WT Invitational. The Falcons being challenged early here by Adams State. Score 2-1, pitch from Berth. Just misses. That evens the count at 1-1. Mitchell, 5'7", sophomore from Longmont, Colorado. And she's going to chop this in the air, but the catch made. Good athletic play by the second baseman, Emily Andrus, for UT Permian Basin. That gets the Falcons out of the inning. They surrender 1 hit, a home run. And so 1 run scored for the Grizzlies. No errors committed by UTPB. We head to The top of the 4th inning with your score. The Falcons lead 2-1 over Adams State. And we're back with more softball action right after these messages.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Here's Lonnie Graft for UT Permian Basin. She'll lead things off in the top of the 4th. Your score 2-1 after the Grizzlies get a home run in the bottom of the 3rd from freshman Alejandro Cantu. The only hit of the game for Adams State. This one back to shortstop. Look at Garbizo on the run. Fabulous play from shortstop. She has really shown off her range so far today. Good defensive play by Garbizo. Has to track this ball down on the run. And that's a tough throw across her body. Gets the out. Some momentum now with the Grizzlies. As Graft is out to start things, and it brings up number 22, Ashlyn Bradley. That pitch is in for a strike. Bradley up with Cynthia Ng on deck. Fly ball to right field, and an easy play for Adams State. Justine Lovato underneath that one makes the catch for the second out. Good defense for the Grizzlies so far, getting the first two batters up and down from UTPB. So Taylor Duncan kind of settling in. Throws this pitch. It's fair. Nope, foul ball. Chopped off the plate, and so umpire quickly comes in and calls foul. Ng will have to come back. Duncan now, pitch count up to 50 through 3.2 innings. She surrendered 3 hits, 2 runs, walked 2, no strikeouts yet, but hasn't allowed this Falcon offense to get going too much. That pitch fouled back and ahead in the count. Duncan is at 0-2. That pitch misses for ball 1. So Ng is still alive. Trying to get on with 2 outs here in the top of the 4th inning. The pitch from Duncan. Off speed. And her defense behind her thought she had placed it on the outside corner. She just missed, so the count evens at 2-2. Ng is 0 for 1 today, a fly out to center field. Pitch misses inside this time, and so now it's run full. Opportunity for Ng to get on. As in this inning, we've seen Lonnie Graff ground out to shortstop, and then Ashlyn Bradley fly out to right field. The pitch right back to the pitcher, an easy play for Taylor Duncan. And the Falcons, they go 1, 2, 3 in the top of the 4th. No hits, no runs, and no errors committed by Adams State. Good defense. You see the replay here. Right, coming right back at you. Duncan Easy money to first base. Grizzlies trail by 1, and they're up here in the bottom of the 4th. We're back after these messages on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family. We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology, innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
In the heart of Texas.
Well, the pace of this game pretty fast as we've seen some solid defense. The Falcons scored 2 runs in the first inning. Everybody scoreless in the second. And then in the third, Adams State gets a solo home run out to left center from Alejandro Cantu. The Falcons go 1-2-3 in the top of the 4th, so we stand with your score 2-1. UTPB with the lead over Adams State. Grizzlies will bring Jade Garbizo, the talented shortstop, to the plate. Berth will step back. Becky Berth really has done a great job pitching, only surrendered the 1 hit to this point. Her first pitch is low, ball 1. Garbizo thought about it. Watches that ball on the outside corner for a called strike 1. Her first appearance back in the first inning was a pop out to the shortstop. She will hit this one hard, but again, Lonnie Graft at third base. Oh, the call at the last second is safe. That was close. And as my friend Alex Kipfer said last night, usually the tie goes to the runner. Well, that may have been the case there. Garbizo foot hits the bag at just about the same time the ball gets there. So the Grizzlies get a runner on. Good start here in the bottom of the 4th for Adams State. And that brings up left fielder Belinda Vargas with Garbizo over at first base. 0 for 1 today for Vargas. She's going to foul this one back out of play. One and one pitch, and this will be a chance for Bumford to make the play, which she does. Good catch over at first base. She's had a lot of work today, Bumford has. And now there is 1 out with the runner Garbizo still over at first base, and that sends Breck Smith, first baseman, into the box for the Grizzlies. And she gets a hold of this ball out to left field. Not quite enough. Catch made out in the outfield. The runner will tag up and get to second base on a nice catch by Cynthia Ng. Garbizo uses her speed, though, to advance to second. And now with 2 outs, a runner at second, we will see Sydney Muniz, the second baseman for Adams State. Grizzlies still trail by 1 run. The delivery from Berth, hit right to the shortstop. Easy play for the 3rd out. Nicely done by Ariza. And a good job defensively again for UTPB in the inning. No runs, 1 hit, and no errors committed by UT Permian Basin. The Falcons will be up to bat when we come back, top of the 5th inning. Things moving quickly out here at Schaefer Park in game number 2. It's a 2-1 lead for the Falcons, and we're back with more right after this.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
The wind blowing, and blowing hard, as you see out straight center field, but not much scoring in this one. It's been strong defense by both teams. 2-1 the score as we head to the top of the 5th inning. UT Permian Basin will be at bat, and we will see number 20 up to bat, Ariel Aguiar, the right fielder for the Falcons. Walked back in the 2nd inning, so this will be her 2nd appearance at the plate. Facing Taylor Duncan, pitcher for Adams State, through 4 innings, has given up 3 hits, 2 earned runs, walked a couple. Her first pitch is low for ball 1. Aguiar lays off of the off-speed pitch. It's low for ball 2. Due up in this inning is Aguiar, Valerie Gonzalez, and Emily Andres. That is a good pitch in for strike 1. Another good pitch. This time works to the outside and blows it past Aguiar for strike 2. The count is 2-2 now. And Aguiar pulls the bat back, watches that ball sail well outside for ball 3. Following this game, Adams State will stay right here, and they will take on Texas A&M Commerce, who won both of its games yesterday. The Lions win over Fort Lewis 10-0, and then over Northern State 11-7. That will be a walk on the wild pitch there that sends Aguiar down to first base. Runner on for the Falcons. And get a leadoff walk for Ariel Aguiar, and that gets Valerie Gonzalez up to bat for the Falcons. And we will see a pinch runner now for the Falcons. Coming in to run will be Morgan McQueen, freshman from Allen, Texas. She'll run for Aguiar.
Number 15, Morgan McQueen.
So you know if she gets a stolen base, we're going to have to go Lightning McQueen here. Knew that one was coming, Jacob. The score 2-1 right now. UT Permian Basin with the lead. Again, the Falcons going for what would be 7 straight wins if they can defeat the Grizzlies here today. 8 wins and 6 losses on the season to start for UT Permian Basin. Just 6 games overall for Adams State. Their record 2-4. And that pitch, strike. See if the Falcons try to advance the runner. They have some speed, actually, both at first base with McQueen, and then Valerie Gonzalez, a fast player as well. She's going to bunt one right in front of the catcher, and that's an out. Good throw. Very close, but a good throw over to first base. The runner at McQueen moves over to second. And that's a nice play by Cantu. You'll see it again here. She picks it up. Actually, it was the third baseman that came up, picked it up quickly there for the Grizzlies. So credit Mariah Madrid with a nice play. 1 out. Runner moves to second. Emily Andrus, up to bat, and she fouls that pitch off. The delivery from Duncan outside. Runner thought about going. And if she would have, that would have been a close play because the catcher, Cantu, was ready to throw that down to third base. 1 ball, 1 strike, and 1 out here in the top of the 5th. Again, Duncan misses outside. Andres today, 2 at-bats, has 1 hit, 1 run. And this one's chopped foul. Her hit came back in the first inning, a single. Readjust the gloves. And she'll step into the box with the count even at 2-2. Big pitch from Duncan. Ball hit right back to the shortstop, Garbizo. Strong arm, runner safe. Andres able to get to first base and beat the throw. So the Falcons threatening now with runners on the corners. This one was close. Garbizo has a strong arm, but Emily Andres reaches and now has 2 singles in the game. Brings up Araceli Ariza. Runner goes. And Cantu actually threw down to third base. So McQueen at third. Andres at second. And the shortstop, Ariza, a chance to potentially add to the Falcon 2-1 lead. Taylor Duncan trying to prevent that. The throw misses. The Grizzly fans thought that one was in for a strike. 2-1. Duncan tries the inside corner and misses off the plate. So the count runs to 3-1. Waiting on deck is Mia Quintero, the cleanup hitter. Ariza watches it upstairs for ball 4. The bases are now loaded for Mia Quintero.
Next up for the Falcons from San Antonio, Texas.
So now Taylor Duncan must be very careful.
Mia Quintero.
You don't want to give up a big hit here, or the score could change quickly. We're going to have a visit from Adams State dugout. Dervin Taylor will come out and visit with the pitcher, Taylor Duncan. Go back to the first game today. Our score was 6-4. UT Permian Basin got the win over Fort Lewis. This one's been low scoring to this point, but remember, in the first game, the Falcons did most of their damage, all their damage from the 4th inning on. Only one out for the Grizzlies. Can Taylor Duncan get the Grizzlies out of trouble? The pitch hit to the shortstop, Garbizo to second. The throw to first, not going to be in time, so UT Permian Basin will score a run. McQueen scores from third. The force out at second. And then Quintero will reach on the fielder's choice at first.
From Prosper, Texas, number 10, Julia Bumford.
So 2 away. The Falcons get another run, add to their lead. And still could be more with Bumford at the plate. She's 1 for 2 in this game, with a single back in the first inning. Fouls the pitch back, and the count evens at 1-1. The pitch low for ball 2. Another good pitch on the inside. She's not going to let Bumford get anything easy, that's for sure. So smart pitching right now from Taylor Duncan. She has evened the count at 2-2. 2 outs for the Grizzlies. They're trying to get out of this inning, top of the 5th. So far for UT Permian Basin, 1 hit. They've scored 1 run in this inning. Looking for more. Bumford with a hard swing. That one gets past the third baseman. Everyone's safe. A run scores as she knocks in Emily Andres, and the lead is up to now 4-1 for UT Permian Basin. And this one from Bumford, just a hard hit out of the reach of the third baseman for Adams State, Mariah Madrid. And the inning continues on for UTPB with runners at first and second. And up to bat, Lonnie Graft, third baseman. She takes one in the leg, so she will go down to first base. Hit by pitch.
Up next for the Falcons.
And now the bases are loaded.
From Aztec, New Mexico, number 22, Ashlyn Bradley.
And Bradley will come up to bat. She can do some damage. We saw that in the first game. A couple of RBI in that 6-4 win over Fort Lewis. Another good spot here for Bradley. The pitch is off the plate for ball one. That one in for a good pitch that is fouled back by Bradley. Evens the count at 1-1. So in this inning alone, 2 runs have scored off of just 1 hit. And that is going to be a hit batter that will bring in a run. Back-to-back plays where UT Permian Basin batters have been hit. This time, it results in a run. Another one for the Falcons. Their lead extends up to 5-1 now. Here in the top of the 5th. And Cynthia Ng up to bat. Look at what the Falcons have done. Again, with 2 outs, they are 2 for 7 as a team, 4 for 18. Neither side hitting that high of a percentage, as the Falcons hitting .222, the Grizzlies 2 of 14 for just .143. But the big difference has been with runners in scoring position and runners on base. Falcons have done work, the Grizzlies have struggled. Wind picking up out there. Taylor Duncan misses on the pitch, and so the count is 1-0. Actually 1-1, excuse me. And that one misses outside. It is actually 3-0. The live stats had showed 2-1, but the count is 3 balls, no strikes. Duncan needs a strike here for the Grizzlies, and she gets it on the inside corner. Ng was taking that one all the way. Good decision. Now we'll see if the bat's, she's swinging away here with the bases loaded. She missed again. Duncan did. Another run will come in off of a walk. And the Falcons' lead is now 6-1. They have done a lot of this damage with 2 outs. And we will have a pitching change. We'll take a timeout. Let the Grizzlies get a pitcher in. New pitcher. Looks like it's going to be number 20, Caitlin Jackson. We're back after this timeout. You're watching the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
We're there to serve, make sure we're creating a fair atmosphere for both teams, upholding the integrity of the game.
I chose to be an official. It's the best decision I've made.
In life, things aren't scripted. Games aren't pre-scripted. You know, I got into officiating because my father was an official. Officiating was part of our family life. It wasn't just the game.
Get to be outside, get to experience the game. It's so much more fun. You can get a lot out of it.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
It helped me become not only a better official, but a better person.
It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
And it's just been wonderful.
What once was a 2-1 lead is now 6-1 for UT Permian Basin. 4 runs here in the top of the 5th inning. And we will now see right fielder Ariel Aguiar up to bat for the Falcons with bases still loaded. Last 2 runs that have come in have been off of walks. So a pitching change. We see number 20, Caitlin Jackson, come in now for the original starting pitcher, Taylor Duncan. And that's a pitch in for a strike. Count evened at 1-1. Jackson's pitch misses this time a little high. Caitlin Jackson on the season at 8.75 ERA. This is her 4th appearance for the Grizzlies. And that one is in on the outside corner for called strike. Count evened at 2-2. Again, in this inning, 4 runs off of 1 hit. Also 1 Grizzlies error committed. Ball hit out to center field. Grizzlies make the catch. And that was the 3rd out. Everyone kind of confused for a second, but that was out number 3, so the Grizzlies finally get out of the inning, but not before a lot of damage is done. UT Permian Basin scores 4 runs off 1 hit, 1 error, and their lead is now 6-1. As we'll head to the bottom of the 5th, you're watching the WT Invitational Day 2 from Schaefer Park. We're back after this.
This is a walk-on athlete. They train longer, put their heart into the game. This is the passion we're built on. It's why we put our heart into creating game day with a taste of Louisiana. Walk-ons, we live for this.
Welcome back to Schaefer Park. Score 6-1 for UT Permian Basin. A big 5th inning where they get 4 runs. And now pressure on the Grizzlies in the bottom of the 5th. They'll bring up to lead off things number 12, designated player Jordan Muniz. Muniz out of Albuquerque. And Becky Berth still pitching for the Falcons. That one should be easy play for the shortstop, and it is. Araceli Ariza makes the play for the Falcons. Quickly 1 away.
Now at bat for the Grizzlies, 3rd base, number 23.
A lot of plays made from shortstop in this one from Ariza. Up to bat for the Grizzlies now, Mariah Madrid, number 23, the 3rd baseman. Chopped back foul. And you wonder if the Grizzlies have dug too deep of a hole now after having the lead, scoring the first 2 runs of the game. Excuse me, that was the Falcons that scored the first 2 runs. But the Grizzlies cut it to 1 off of a home run from Alejandro Cantu in the 3rd inning. They had it close there until the top of the 5th, where they surrendered 4 runs. Madrid stays away from that ball, and the count goes to 1-2, still in favor of Becky Berth, pitcher for the Falcons, who now, through 4 innings and 1 batter faced here in the 5th, doing good work. Only allowed 1 run. This is a hard rope to shortstop, but again, Ariza right there for the stop, and the throw to first is in time for out number 2.
2 away for the Grizzlies. Up to bat, your catcher, number 33,
So really second base and shortstop, both strong defensive positions for UT Permian Basin between Ariella Arcelia Riza and Emily Andres. Up to bat for the Grizzlies is the young lady who provided the lone run for the Grizzlies, Cantu. Can she deliver again for Adams State? That's a good pitch from Berth. Well, close. And they do call it a strike. Count evens at 1-1. Already 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th for Becky Berth. Strong pitching performance. She's been pretty solid throughout. Again, only the 1 run given up in the 3rd on a home run to left center to Alejandro Cantu. And Berth ahead in the count here at 1-2. Has only thrown 1 strikeout, but she has done a good job of throwing pitches that Adams State has put back in play to the defense for what has been most of the day easy outs for the Falcons. That pitch misses down low and evens the count at 2-2. This is game 2 of 6 games coming your way today. Next one up on slate, it'll be Texas A&M Commerce against these Grizzlies of Adams State. And there's a strikeout. The pitch blown by Cantu for the 3rd out. Berth collects her 2nd strikeout of the game, and UT Permian Basin will head to the top of the 6th, leading 6-1. We'll take a timeout, come back with the Falcons up to bat. You're watching the WT Invitational from Schaefer Park here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Bucks! J-Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition is that we work for you with dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J-Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J-Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J-Ferg Roofing. We are more.
Welcome back to Schaefer Park. You see the score there, 6-1. UT Permian Basin leads after a strong 5th inning where they scored 4 runs. They lead it over Adams State. Lucas Kinsey with you here from Schaefer Park. Thunder Vision production team doing a great job with us the last 2 days. I'm going to bring in my broadcast partner from basketball, Kent Johnson, who doing a lot of different duties this weekend. As always, Kent, it wouldn't be any other way for you on the weekend, but yesterday called some WT baseball games. WT Baseball in action again today, taking on Cameron, and a fun weekend for softball and baseball.
Yeah, and the Buffs, as you mentioned, opening a 4-game series with the Aggies yesterday, ran their record to 7-0 on the season, 5-0 in conference play with a 12-5 win over Cameron. Nick Marshall on the mound, just 7 solid innings, gave up 5 runs, but, the WT offense is averaging close to 12 runs a game.
Oh, wow.
And in baseball, that's a lot. They scored 12 yesterday. They were averaging 13.6 prior to yesterday. Sasha Snyder came on, pitched 2 innings in relief and shut down the Aggies. And, WT, they score runs. They don't make errors. And they just chink away, and next thing you know, runners on base and a big hit, and they've scored 2 or 3, and what was a close run isn't anymore. Matt Vanderberg has got a very solid program over there, and you've seen a lot of softball here today, and no reason to think that Michael Mook's Lady Buff team, national champions last year, but during the regular season you didn't know it was going to happen, but now that you know what's possible and you see how they've played in the early going, it's going to be a fun season.
It is. The Lady Buffs yesterday won both of their games. 9-0, 8-0. They beat Adams State, this Grizzlies team here, 8-0, and then defeated Fort Lewis 9-0. So run rules for the Lady Buffs. Strong defense, good pitching, and then timely hitting. They also do a good job working the bases as well. In this one here, UT Permian Basin and Adams State, the Falcons yesterday just exploded offensively for 12 and 13 runs. Today they haven't had as many offensive output with the runs, but what they have done is they played nice defense. Today, the wind a little bit more of a factor as well than what we had yesterday.
You know, you're seeing UTPB. A little later you'll see A&M Commerce, and of course the Lady Buffs. You've got 3 Lone Star Conference teams that we're going to see throughout the year.
And they were perfect yesterday. All Lone Star Conference teams won. They were perfect 6-0. And to this point, they are 7-0 in this WT Invitational tournament. And a good crowd that we've seen so far over the last 2 days in the tournament. The teams traveling from Adams State, Fort Lewis, both those teams out of the RMAC. Northern State, a team that we've seen, KJ, before in basketball.
Yep.
But the Wolves make the trip from South Dakota. That pitch fouled back there by Andres.
You know, something that we should take into consideration that may or may not play out each year is these northern teams that come in. A lot of times when they come to the WT Invitational, it's the first time they've been outdoors all season because of their weather. Now, Colorado hasn't had the snow this year that they routinely have, but they have of late.
As that pitch gets past the catcher.
But a lot of times these teams are practicing in their indoor facility, which, you know, they may share with another program. They may have it themselves, but it's different.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come outside, you've got the full field, shagging flies and all that. So this may be, for like Northern State, the first time they've been outdoors all year.
All right. The count is 3-2, runs full, 1 out. Andres at the plate, and Jackson delivers inside for ball 4. You mentioned the strong pitching performance by the WT baseball team. No different out here on softball. You get a strong pitching performance like what we saw yesterday, specifically from Texas A&M Commerce, where they had Alyssa LeBlanc pitch a perfect game. It just gives your defense behind you so much confidence.
Yeah, when you know that your pitcher is overpowering. And in softball, you tend to find that. You know, the good teams have a dominant pitcher, and, you know, it gets between the ears, so to speak, of the other team going up there, and then it relaxes you when you go to the plate knowing that, you know, you only have to score a couple runs.
UT Permian Basin will send Araceli Ariza, the shortstop, up to bat. She's already behind in the count now, 0-2. So Jackson on the mound here for in the circle for the Grizzlies, trying to get out of trouble, to get out of this inning, excuse me. And Adams State has got some work to do, trailing 6-1. Check swing, and she held off. So the count goes to 1-2. Oh, and they
run her up.
They did. They said she is out. Did go around, and so that will be the second out. And bring up to the plate number 14, Mia Quintero, the number 4 hitter here for UTPB.
14, Mia Quintero.
So KJ, still basketball season as well for the Lone Star Conference, getting down the stretch for most of the teams. 1 week left before conference tournament play, right?
It's incredible, you know, and the races are so tight. Lady Buffs are percentage points in first place by themselves on the women's side. The men, with their win over Western New Mexico Thursday night out in Silver City.
There's a hit to third base, and it should be an easy play for the third out, and it is. So they retire the side there. We'll talk more about the basketball when we come back from a quick timeout. The score 6-1 as we head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Grizzlies have some work to do, trailing by 5. You're watching the WT Invitational here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
6-1 the score. UT Permian Basin cruising right now over Adams State as the Falcons going for a 7th straight win. They're trying to improve their record to what would be 9-6 if they can hold off. The Grizzlies here. KJ, we're talking about basketball and the Lone Star Conference basketball tournament moving back to the Dallas area.
Yeah, back to Frisco, Comerica Center in Frisco, a beautiful venue, a lot of fun. I love it when you go to a neutral site. That's where basketball tournament to me needs to be. But, both those races, the men's and the women's Lone Star Conference basketball races, are so tight. For example, a week ago, Cameron's women were in first place. Mm-hmm. 1 week later, they're in 8th.
Yeah, they had 3 losses against tough teams.
Not only have they lost a bye in the first round, they've just about to fall out of hosting a first-round game. Texas Women's was tied with the Lady Buffs heading into Thursday. They're 5th now.
Goodness. Just like that.
2 games left. Lady Buffs and the Buffaloes both at home this week. Texas A&M Kingsville, 2 very good teams coming in Thursday. And then Texas A&M International. Well, International's women is who knocked off Texas Women's this weekend, coming in Saturday for the regular season finale. Depending on how those go, hopefully we're not playing Tuesday, March 1st, but we may well be.
There's a good pitch for strike 2 from Becky Berth as she is able to put that one past Taylor Duncan. And the count is 1-2. Leadoff hitter here for Adams State in the bottom of the 6th inning with the Grizzlies trailing by 5. Off-speed pitch, wow. That's one where the hitter just is frozen, not sure what to do, and the crowd oohs and ahs after that strikeout from Becky Berth. That was her 3rd strikeout of the game so far.
Number 42, Angeline Mitchell.
And that will bring up to bat now for Adams State, number 42, the center fielder, Angeline Mitchell. Mitchell hitless so far. Now, when you talk region-wise, KJ, RMAC, not as familiar, so I'm asking you, RMAC in the same region as we get down in postseason?
South Central region, you're talking for basketball, yes. It's just the Lone Star Conference and the Rocky Mountain Athletic Conference.
Yep.
And you take the top 8 from the men and the women, and they generally go to the highest seed, and you have a lot of fun.
Okay, now in baseball, region-wise, RMAC,
it's
same.
Yeah, it's the same in most sports. Football is really the only one
where it's different.
That it's different.
Yeah.
And there you have your super regions, and they extend further north.
Count even at 1-1. Mitchell watches that pitch. Close. But they call it ball 2. And this invitational here for the Lady Buffs, after this, it's conference games the rest of the way.
They start early. They play often, but this is the way you make sure that everybody plays everybody.
Delivery from Berth. Inside, misses. Off the plate. And so baseball, you mentioned the WT baseball team playing the Aggies, so a couple of games today.
You had their first game started at 1 o'clock. Sometime around 4 o'clock they'll play their second game, and then they'll come back tomorrow for the season finale, a single game at 1 p.m. That game also, those games, being broadcast on the LSC Digital Network.
Good pitch from Berth, able to get a strike there and even the count.
Here's where you know that you've got fans watching you, okay? Yesterday was my very first calling of a baseball game.
Okay. Did you channel your Bob Uecker? No?
I went Harry Carey for a while.
Okay, Harry Carey. That's good.
Anyway, I'll let you call the pitch here.
Berth will throw it, and it's hit up the middle. It's going to be a base hit. Good effort at it from second base by Emily Andres. Go ahead.
So, as you know from basketball, my parents watch.
Sure.
Well, they have paid their money for football. They paid their money for basketball. Dad sends me a text after the game and said, well, it took me a while, but I paid my $75 to watch you today. Will you be doing all the baseball games? I said, Dad, that was probably the only one I'm doing all year. I'll do some more, but I thought someone thought I was worth $75.
Mr. Johnson asking for a refund. That's funny.
Because of the announcer. We have fun doing the games, though, don't we, Lucas?
We sure do, and we enjoy, one of the things, just to brag for a little bit about our production team, the Thunder Vision team, just does a fantastic job, no matter what sport it is, and we definitely appreciate their hard work. This ball on a rope hit past
first and third.
Mm-hmm. And so you're going to get a runner around, and the Grizzlies in business here.
Stay out of the force play now.
Yeah, Jade Garbizo able to hit that one through for a double. Moves the runner in front of her over to third base, and that will bring up number 31, Belinda Vargas. And so Berth, to this point, had not been touched much at all, just giving up the one home run. And so she'll get a visit here from her catcher and try to settle things in. Just amazed calling these softball games on these pitchers, KJ, just the velocity on the pitch, but then also how they're able to change it up.
The motion that they get on the ball. I mean, the limited distance between the circle and the plate, and that ball just moves all over the place. If I was standing in there, I'd look silly.
Right.
I'm not afraid to admit it.
The left fielder Vargas with an opportunity here. One out. Runners at second and third. She tips that one foul. And so behind in the count at 0-1. Yeah, Becky Berth, through nearly 6 innings of work, has given up 4 hits, 1 run, 3 strikeouts, a double and a home run. She's faced 20 batters, and her pitch count just 61. This one hit high in foul territory and fading back towards fair territory, as you can tell the wind blowing, but a good catch made by Lonnie Graft. And that is something that the fielders have to deal with, is this ball gets hit high in the air. You think you've got a beat on it, and all of a sudden it's moving at the last second.
Yeah, the West Texas wind. Yesterday was a beautiful day, no wind at all. Today it's more what we're accustomed to, and we saw it on that play. Now 2 down.
So Berth will try to get the Falcons out of a jam. Good first pitch. Some speed on that ball that Breck Smith, the first baseman, watches for strike 1. This Falcon team, again, playing some good softball. Winners of 6 straight, our longest winning streak since 2016. Smith, awkward play, but Berth from her knees able to make the throw over to first base for out number 3. And so in the inning, no runs after 2 hits, no errors committed by UT Permian Basin, and they will head to the top of the 7th with a 6-1 lead. We're back with more softball action right after these messages.
This is what a new heart valve looks like. This is what a bypassed artery looks like. And this is what a repaired aortic aneurysm looks like. The BSA Heart and Vascular team is here to help you live life to the fullest. From our state-of-the-art cardiac technologies to our dedicated heart specialists, our goal is to help you take the very best care of your heart so you can enjoy everything else that matters to you. BSA for life.
80 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 118 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
We head to the top of the 7th with the score. UT Permian Basin, the Falcons lead 6-1. Appreciate Kent Johnson, Associate Athletic Director, stopping by to visit with me. Talk about WT Athletics and Lone Star Conference Athletics as well. And again, looking forward to some games with Kent next week. Basketball games at the First United Bank Center for the Buffs and Lady Buffs. Up to bat here in the top of the 7th is number 10, Julia Bumford. Bumford in this game 1 for 3 with an RBI in the 5th inning. The pitch from Taylor Duncan in for called strike, and she's ahead in the count here at 1-2. Bumford, good rip, but it's fouled down the third base side. Count stays at 1-2. Look at Duncan, her pitch count up to 81. She's allowed 4 hits, 6 runs, 5 earned. Has walked 5 batters. That's one of the issues for Adams State, those walks. When she got off there in the 4th inning, 2 of the 4 runs came in off of walks. Here's Bumford. And guessing on the off-speed pitch, it's a strikeout for Taylor Duncan. 1 away here in the top of the 7th.
Now at bat, third baseman number 25, Lonnie Graft.
Number 25, Lonnie Graft, up to bat now. 5'2" senior from Chula Vista, California. Transfer from Howard College. And a good first pitch from Taylor Duncan. Oh, and 1 the count. Close, but a little off outside for ball 1. Team hitting summary. Each team 4 hits. The Falcons 174 as a team. The Grizzlies 182. Lonnie Graft, hard hit to shortstop. Garbizo cleanly makes the play. Throws the runner out at first. The difference on the hitting again, when you look at the stats, it's with runners on base or runners in scoring position. The Falcons 3 of 13 with runners on base, and Adams State just 1 of 6 runners in scoring position. The Grizzlies 0 for 3, and with 2 outs, Grizzlies 0 for 6, and the Falcons 2 for 9. A pinch hitter now for UT Permian Basin. It's Kaylin Brister who will bat now. She pitched in the first game in a 6-4 win over Fort Lewis. The wind continues to pick up outside. This one chopped to shortstop. Garbizo, the throw is high, and so the runner will safely make it down to first base. Throw just got away from Garbizo. She knows it.
Out to the Falcons, left fielder number 5, Cynthia Ing.
So Cynthia Ing will step in for the Falcons. Pitch is up and high for ball 1. Temperature definitely is warming up. It's 62 degrees outside right now, but the wind is also picking up at 22 miles an hour, blowing straight out into center field. That pitch low. So 2 balls, no strikes to Cynthia Ng. She picked up a win in game number 1 for the Falcons. Strong pitching performance. Playing left field here in game 2. Watches that pitch for strike 1. 2 at-bats for Ng. In this one, no hits. She does have an RBI. Back in the 5th inning. Close on that pitch from Taylor Duncan, but out of the strike zone for ball 2. Again, after this one, your next game will feature Texas A&M Commerce against Adams State. Pitch fouled off from Ng. Good effort by the first baseman to try to track it down, but Breck Smith could not catch up to the ball, so Duncan will go back to work. Two outs for the Grizzlies here in the top of the 7th. Pitch low, and that's ball 4. So Ng strolls down to first base. Runners at first and second. And here we go again with the Falcons working with 2 outs. And now runners on first and second for number 20, Ariel Aguiar, the right fielder.
Ariel Aguiar.
Pitch is high for ball 1. This pitch count for Duncan adding up. It's now to 90 pitches thrown. That's a good pitch in for strike 1. Aguiar today in the 2nd inning walked, in the 5th inning walked, hit by pitch actually in the 2nd, and then in the 5th inning flied out to center field. She watches this pitch low for ball 2. Count to 2-1. The delivery from Duncan, chopped back foul. On deck for UT Permian Basin is the Vanessa Gonzalez. This ball hit to third base, and it'll be an easy out from Madrid. Steps on the bag, and that's how the top of the 7th will end for the Falcons. No runs, no hits, 1 error, and we will head to the bottom of the 7th. One last chance for Adams State. You're watching the WT Invitational here on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
When you choose natural gas, chocolate chip cookies get a little tastier. Homes get a little cozier. Bank accounts tend to put on some weight. Towels get fluffier. Showers stay hotter for longer. And our blue planet gets a little greener. When it comes to choosing energy that's clean and efficient, nothing else could be more American. Atmos Energy, your natural gas company.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
We'll see if the Falcons can finish off Adams State as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. UT Permian Basin leads 6-1. And what has been a very strong pitching performance from Becky Berth. Great defense behind her as well today from the Falcons. 6 innings pitched for Berth, 4 hits, 1 earned run, 3 strikeouts, and a pitch count of just 65 so far. To lead things off for Adams State, Sydney Muniz. She watches the first pitch sail out of the strike zone for ball 1. The difference in this one, the top of the 5th inning, which saw the Falcons get 4 runs. This ball hit a long way out there, but just foul, close to being a solo shot there. That's one where the pitcher, Berth, probably lets out a sigh of relief. Says, I got lucky there, nearly gave up one. In the top of the 5th, the 4 innings scored by UT Permian Basin to go along with 2 in the first. Fastball fouled back. And the count is 2-1. Actually 1-2, excuse me. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The pitch. And this is going to be a hit for Sydney Muniz. See if they charge an error off the leg of the first baseman. But Muniz does reach first.
At the plate from Albuquerque, New Mexico, number 12, Jordan Muniz.
And that will bring up Jordan Muniz. So Adams State, a good start here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Berth delivers the pitch, and it's outside. And misses again, and the runner's going to advance to second after the pass ball gets past UT Permian Basin catcher Ashlyn Bradley. Muniz over to second. Now Berth will take her time. The senior from Oconto, Wisconsin. Again, a transfer from Minnesota State. Moorhead, 5'9", senior. She started 18 games last year, led the Falcons in innings pitched, also in strikeouts and in complete games. Talented pitcher. Struggling a little here, as she is way behind in the count. 3 balls and no strikes. Muniz with an opportunity to get on and give the Grizzlies a couple of runners with still no outs. Good pitch. Needed that one, and she got a strike. The 3-1 pitch from Berth is up. She missed it. So Sydney Muniz reaches on a fielding error to first.
Up to bat from Las Cruces, New Mexico, number 23.
And then Jordan Muniz is walked, so she's at first. No outs. And Mariah Madrid, third baseman, steps into the box with the Grizzlies trailing 6-1. And this is going to be a hit to center field. Moves the runners and loads the bases. What a start here for Adams State. Keeping their hopes alive. They trail by 5 runs.
Jonestown, Colorado, number 33, Alexandria.
But the first 3 batters have all reached base. And now we will have a pitching change, so we'll take a timeout, come back, and it will be number 23, Abby Cousins, that will come on in relief of Becky Berth, who pitched a strong game today. She'll leave just surrendering 1 run. We're back with more softball action here in the bottom of the 7th after these messages.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Bucks! J-Ferg Roofing has been protecting our community for 15 years. With more than 30,000 homes and businesses protected by our roofing work, we're proud of our ability to provide efficient, lasting solutions for your roofing needs. What makes us stand out from the competition is that we work for you, dedicated team members who guide you every step of the way. That is the J-Ferg advantage. Quality, experience, fast pass scheduling, customer rewards. We have it all. Call J-Ferg Roofing today for a free inspection. We are J-Ferg Roofing. We are more.
Pitching change brings Abby Cousins, the junior from Needville, Texas, a transfer from Texas A&M Commerce, to see if she can get the Falcons out of some trouble. The first 3 runners here in the bottom of the 7th have reached base. Cousins' first pitch misses. Catcher able to track it down, though. Sydney Muniz reaches on a fielding error to start things off. And then Jordan Muniz walked. Mariah Madrid singles out to center field. Runners all move around. And that's how we get the bases loaded. Cousins, good pitch. That Alejandro Cantu caught a piece of. Fouls it for strike 1. Cantu scored the only run of this ball game with a solo shot out to left center field. Back in the 3rd inning. Cousins delivers. The pitch is going to drop for a base hit and score a run. Out into shallow right field over the second baseman's head. Nice piece of hitting there for Adams State. They are battling. Look at that one again. Just out of the reach of Andres.
California, Taylor Duncan.
And now Adams State all of a sudden has this offense clicking. The Falcons in a little bit of trouble. They don't have a single out, and the bases stay loaded. The score now goes to 6-2. We'll have a pinch runner for the Falcons. They'll bring in Sydney Bishop over at first base. Essentially, we are potentially one swing away from this game being tied. At the plate is Taylor Duncan. Cousins pitch outside for ball 1. Abby Cousins delivers, and did the batter go around? No. 2 balls, no strikes. Cousins stands just 5 feet tall. And her pitch misses again. Ball 3. So now some pressure again on the Falcons pitcher. Got to throw a strike here, but you throw it in too good of a spot for Taylor Duncan. She may take it for a ride. That pitch is outside for ball 4, so the Grizzlies are going to score another run. They have cut the lead in half. 2 runs scored here in the bottom of the 7th. Has the lead now to just 3. Falcons lead 6-3. Duncan walks down to first. And we're going to have another quick pitching change. We'll step aside for a timeout. Falcons trying to finish this thing out. Grizzlies battling. Still no outs for UTPB. We'll be back right after these messages on the Lone Star Conference Digital Network.
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas. Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
Well, this is turning into a wild finish here from Schaefer Park. In game number 2 of the day, Adams State and UT Permian Basin. Falcons have been cruising throughout this game. They led 6-1 going into this inning. Adams State has now cut it to 6-3. And we've got Becky Berth back into pitch here for the Falcons after a quick appearance from Abby Cousins. Pitch hit high in the air. Second baseman drops the ball. Can they get the runner out at second? No! The Grizzlies score 1 run. Everyone is safe. Great hustle. We've got a player down, though, at second base. It's Emily Andres. And they are going to call the batter out. So it will be a second out. Excuse me, a first out of the inning. Right now the coaches and trainers, though, checking on the injured player for UT Permian Basin, which is Emily Andres. Hate to see that happen right there. It was Coda that was in to hit for Adams State. And the Falcons checking on the injured player. Let's step aside, take a quick timeout. We'll be back with more softball action. 6-4 is your score. Bottom of the 7th between UT Permian Basin and Adams State.
Ball was dropped in second.
We are Carpet Tech, and we are family. More than carpet cleaners, we're a team. Diving right in, not afraid to invest in our work and each other. We're killing it day in and day out, never shrinking from a challenge. Our people are 1 part passion, 1 part grit, and about a zillion parts awesome. And we are always looking to add to our family. So what are you waiting for?
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Well, they are helping injured player Emily Andres off of the field here for UT Permian Basin. Just hate to see that happen. There is one out. Here in the inning, the score is 6. Scoreboard shows 6-4. We'll try to get this all sorted out. It is 6-4. And Jade Garbizo up to bat for the Grizzlies. Runners at second and third. With Becky Berth pitching for UT Permian Basin. Ball up and outside for ball one. Garbizo will watch that second pitch. Miss for ball two. So the Falcons defensively had been outstanding throughout this game, and then the bottom of the seventh they have had some struggles. Garbizo today 2 for 3. She's been solid at the plate. Ball three. If Garbizo is able to get on, that would load the bases and would bring up Belinda Vargas, number 31. She's on deck. The delivery from Becky Berth misses again. Bases are loaded for the Grizzlies.
Off to bat from Albuquerque, New Mexico, number 31, Belinda Vargas.
So one out. Falcons lead by 2 runs. 6-4, bases loaded. Here's Belinda Vargas for Adams State. Becky Berth just misses outside. She's trying to get that outside corner and just missing. Getting some encouragement from her teammates. Adams State scoring 3 runs in this bottom of the 7th inning off of 2 hits and also 2 errors. That's a strike. Vargas goes around. And Berth evens the count at 1-1. Outside again. Vargas hitless today, 0 for 3. Would love to change that here. Big swing, she missed it. Count even at 2-2. Situations you want to be in. A chance here for Vargas to be a hero for Adams State. Becky Berth trying to prevent that. In the circle for the Falcons. Her pitch up for ball 3. So now the next pitch, so important. Vargas knows she has to get a strike here from Berth. Otherwise, we've got a 1-run game. and it's outside for ball 4. A run will score as stepping on home plate will be Savannah Hoisington, who was a pinch runner for Adams State. It is now a 1-run game. 6-1 heading into the 7th. Looked like Adams State was getting ready to pack it in, and the Grizzlies had other ideas. They've scored 4 runs here in the bottom of the 7th. And now up to bat will be Breck Smith, sophomore from Grand Junction. First baseman for the Grizzlies. She also looking for her first hit. So you hear the Grizzly fans saying, "Come on, big country." They want Breck Smith to get a hit. Strike out in the 2nd, ground out in the 6th, fly out in the 4th inning. Smith hit to the shortstop. They're going to get the runner out at home plate for out number 2. And a smart play there, obviously, by Araceli Ariza, the shortstop. Base hit potentially could win the game for Adams State. Could definitely tie it up. 6-5 your score, bottom of the 7th inning. We will see now. Number 4, Sydney Muniz. Bases loaded again for Adams State. 2 outs for the Falcons. Becky Berth. Pitch foul back. So you look at Berth. She has thrown 86 pitches. 3 strikeouts today. She's allowed 4 runs, 3 earned. Walked 3 batters. Ahead in the count right now, Berth at 0-1. Muniz slaps it through the shortstop. Throw is over the head. This could be the game right here. And Adams State at the plate. Safe Grizzlies. Score, and that's it. They get the 2 runs around in a crazy play that is going to be scored as a base hit for Sydney Muniz. Some good base running by Adams State and an incredible comeback. They trailed 6-1 heading into the bottom of the 7th, and Adams State comes away with a 7-6 victory over UT Permian Basin. The Grizzlies improved their record to 3 wins and 4 losses. They snapped the 6-game win streak of UT Permian Basin. The Falcons fall to 8-7 on the season. Congratulations to Adams State on picking up a come-from-behind win. We'll take a timeout, step aside, and take a break, come back and start Game 3. About a 20 to 30-minute break here, probably about 20 minutes you're looking at between games. Texas A&M Commerce and Adams State is up next. Grizzlies, a lot of momentum. Thanks so much for watching.